So it looks like we're gonna have another clear night tonight. What did I do to deserve this? Hey everyone, this is Steve entering into space, and welcome to 2022. It's the first day of the new year, and it is clear. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. So what's my plans tonight? Well, the forecast says another clear night. Hallelujah, hallelujah. So what does that mean? It means I'm gonna try another experiment. Why not, right? Tonight's goal is to shoot the Orion Nebula. Yeah, because I've never shot that before. An HDR version, meaning several exposure integrations all in one night, using the ASI 294 MM Pro. So it's going to be a lot of exposures. Still contemplating on whether I'm going to do bin 1 or bin 2. So my plan is to shoot a series of 10-second exposures, 30-second exposures, and 120-second exposures. And the goal is to try to preserve the core and also try to pick up a lot of that really cool surrounding, real faint nebulosity. Like there's this like little finger thing. Wait a minute, that finger right up underneath it. Like try to get all of that really faint outer nebulosity around the Orion Nebula and Running Man Nebula, because I will be framing them together with the 80mm APO. The other thing to do tonight is I've been having some connection failures. Last night had a complete just sever of connectivity between the computer and the telescope. So I've got a new USB hub. I just went and picked up 3.0 4-port USB hub. Hopefully that's it. You know, the worst kind of problems are the ones that you fix without solving. So let's talk a little bit about the ASI 294. I know I kind of just sprung it on you last video. I'm like, hey, I got a 294. Yeah, well, the 1600 crash had complete connection failure. Hopefully High Point Scientific and I can work through and get this thing back to China to get it fixed. But I had an opportunity to pick up a slightly used ASI 294 MM Pro from my AstroPal Tommy out in Colorado. So let's talk a little bit about the differences between it and the 1600. First of all, major difference is the quantum efficiency, and I'm already noticing that, hence a one-night project. I did a night project last night that if you're really good and you say the magic word, I'll show you at the end of this video. But yeah, I'm actually getting what I see as just as much signal with less integration time, less time in the backyard. So when you compare the ASI 294's 90% quantum efficiency to the ASI 1600's 60% quantum efficiency, the difference really shows. The other super cool thing about this camera that really helps me in these tropical climates that I dwell in is that the ASI 294 has a dew heater, built-in dew heater around the sensor. I suffered with that. Oh my gosh, I suffered with that big time with the 1600, to the fact that I would have to really scoot a dew band right up against the filter wheel because that little piece of glass would inevitably get dew on the front of it and just punch a hole through all your subs. So two other cool features, I'm sure you've heard about them before, is the native bin 2 that the ASI 294 comes in has a 4.63 micron sensor or pixels, and those are really suited well better for like my longer focal length telescope that I've done videos before, the ASI or the Ioptron RC8. Much better sampling with bigger pixels. And the resolution, I don't see a loss in resolution. I really didn't. But they've unlocked the bin 1 mode, which means the pixel size drops down to 2.3 microns and your megapixels resolution goes up from 11 to 47, way up there. The trade-off is that when you go to the bin 1 mode, you're gonna lose some dynamic range. But in the Bin 2 mode, the dynamic range is actually increased from 13 stops to 14 stops as compared to the ASI 1600. So, you know, there's a ton of stats about these cameras, and there's all kinds of really specific technical features that you can read about these cameras and you can just pull your hair out over, kind of like your auto guiding graph. But guess what? When you're actually sitting there, or you're zoomed way back and you're seeing a big gigantic image and you're not zooming way in, can you tell? Welcome back to the backyard. It is nice and clear tonight. It's not very cool. I'm wearing a jacket only for the mosquitoes. I've got the polar alignment done and everything is connecting, so the USB hub seems to be doing better. Didn't get any errors there. So let's go over here to Nina and set up a sequence on the Orion Nebula. And right now it is just above the bush. It's really low, which is good because I'm gonna need basically horizon to rooftop to get this all done tonight. Okay, so over here in Nina, we're gonna click on add new target. We're gonna build a sequence here. And the way we're gonna do that first is we're gonna open up Stellarium. All right, so here in Stellarium, let's turn on our DSOs. Let's pan around here. There's Orion really low, which is cool. Keep zooming in here to Orion. And let's just click on it right here. Click on it right there. Hit that little triangle, and that's gonna show the Meade 80 millimeter, the field of view that I have. Of course, my scope's rotated, but that's fine. That's what we want. So we can minimize the screen, come back over here to our framing tab and hit this little teardrop, and it's gonna say get coordinates from the planetarium. And I've got it pretty narrow at a 2-degree reference. The higher you bump that number up, the longer it takes it to download. Kill mosquitoes. It's okay, Frankie. All right, so we have loaded our image. There it is. I could widen that field of view, the actual sensor's field of view better. Okay, so we've got it here. That's a lot better framing. So now we can really see what our sensor, our 80 millimeter APO coupled with a sensor shooting. I'm gonna shoot bin 1 tonight, so our height and width are enormous and our pixel size is minuscule. But that's cool. So that's what we're gonna do. That's the target. So let's say, we're not gonna slew to center, we're gonna say add target to sequence, and we're gonna do the simple sequencer. So it's gonna kick us over into this screen here. So let's go ahead and build this. This is gonna be quite a bit, but let's shoot, we're gonna shoot 20. And we're gonna do 10 seconds. And we're gonna be a light. And we're gonna do the luminance filter, bin 1, dither, on. And we're gonna do every 3rd frame. Actually, let's do every 4th frame since it's just 10 seconds long. Sound good? Sound good to you? Sounds good to me. Okay, so then we hit the plus button here. And we're gonna do our red filter. Right? And same thing, do the plus button here. We're gonna do our blue filter. Plus, whoop, too many plus buttons. And we're gonna do the green filter. So we're gonna burn through these pretty quick. It tells us that only gonna take about 40 minutes to shoot that. That's cool. That's gonna get our core. And then we're gonna do same everything, except for we're gonna bump this up to 30 seconds. And that's gonna start building a little bit of the outer core. There's really no reason to shoot like a bunch of different levels of this. I find 3 is good enough. Something for just the trapezium, maybe like I said, like a 30-second shot to give a little bit more detail and definition around the trapezium. And then we're gonna go for the gusto. We're gonna go for all the fainter nebulosity here. So we can loop that back to luminance. This time I'll probably want to bump that up to 30 of them. I want to shoot a little bit more luminance little less color. Push that down to 20. And we're gonna do red, blue. We're still leaving our dither every 4th frame. Once we get some longer subs, we'll reduce that dither down to every 3rd frame. So red, blue, and then one more makes green. So that's putting us at 10 o'clock. So at 10 o'clock, we should have this done. So now we're gonna go through and do our long exposures here. So we'll add another one. We're gonna go back to luminance and we're gonna say 180 seconds. We're gonna shoot 3 minutes. Oops, 180 seconds. 3-minute luminance. And I wanna shoot 40 of those. And then plus button. We're going to do the red channel, or the red channel, 180 seconds, except for probably just gonna do 20 of those. Add it again, man, we got a list. And then blue, and one more, roll it down. I had to scroll. As green. So, where does that get us at? Because I still need to shoot some darks. So I need to leave some time. Puts us at about 1:20 in the morning, so that's pretty good. So we do want to cool the camera. We do want to unpark the mount. We do want to figure a meridian flip. We do want to warm the camera. Actually, we don't want to warm the camera because I want to shoot darks after this. So it's just one less thing I have to do to actually warm or cool the camera back down. But I do want to park the mount. Let's go in here to target options. I do want to slew to the target. I do want to center the target, and I do want to start a guiding routine. And what I might do is see where I'm at in a luminance run and pause it and run another autofocus in a couple of hours manually. So I'm not going to do it on filter change. The luminance, the red, blue, green are really close. You end up, like I've said many times before, you end up blurring out your color data anyway. So where you want good sharp focus is your luminance data. And I really feel like we got a good core sequence here. Let's see that 30 seconds. So I like the sequence. I think Orion's probably high enough. Even though it's pretty low right now, I'm shooting those 10-second subs right off the bat. So I'm really not too worried about any kind of atmospheric disturbance or light pollution that I have in the south here. So I think I can go ahead and run those really quick. So the 10 and 30-second subs can be shot low in the horizon. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we've built a sequence. Let's come down here and say save it. And let's just save it where I already had this little one built here. Save. I'm gonna overwrite it. Okay, I'm excited. You excited? I hope so. Go over here to just make sure that our guider is connected. Yes, it is. We're looping. Let's check our guide. PhD2. Oh, just had a satellite spurt through there. So let's hit play and let her rip. She's slewing. So we are underway. That was a quick little montage of everything it takes to get to the point where we're actually taking some images here. So these are our 10-second sub-exposures. So I feel like my autofocus is not autofocusing. So I'm gonna come over here to the sequence and I'm gonna stop it. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm gonna come back in here to the image. But I'm telling you, like if I come over here to image history, and I come see these HFR numbers are really, really high. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I think what I'm gonna have to do is come over here to framing and get to a bright star and use the Batten-Off mask. Okay, we're on Capella. We're gonna use old school. Yeah. So shooting bin one by one, we'll do a 3-second loop. Let's see if we can't fine tune this focus the old school way, the old fashioned way, like the pioneers used to do it. So I think a 3-second loop is probably too much. Let's drop that down to a 1-second loop. You want a pretty dim loop, especially on luminance, because the dimmer it is, the more precise you can get that focus. Yeah, so see, even a 1 second is still, let's do a loop here. Yeah, see, even a 1 second is still pretty bright. So let's stop that. And we're gonna do 0.5. Start a loop back up again. Yeah, we can start to see that that center spike is not real centered. We're gonna drop that exposure one more time. Let's do 0.2. All right, so we're gonna adjust our fine focus here. That is the wrong, yep, went the wrong way. It'd be interesting to see exactly what that focus position is. So see, we've actually overshot it. I think that's pretty good there. It's not perfect, but I keep overshooting it. Something I definitely gotta work on. But that's what we do out here. Ooh, I think I got it close. That's what we do here in the backyard. We work on stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna call that good. Let's get up here, take the batting off mask off. Don't forget to do that, Lord. So now that we've done that, we're gonna come back in here to our sequence. And it looks like we shot 5. So we're gonna change this to 25. Add those 5 back that were out of focus. We're gonna definitely remember to turn autofocus on or off on start. And we're gonna come back into our imaging and we're gonna turn that loop off so we can begin the sequence. Start. These are the trials of the backyard at night with mosquitoes and a needy dog. Hey, Frankie. All right, we've locked onto the target and we are now exposing. Sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? Let's come over here to the imaging tab. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yeah, we begin. See, our focus position has definitely changed. Looks like we've got some good subs here. You see the core isn't blown out. You can still see quite a bit of it. You know, we're going for a big surrounding area nebula photo, so our core doesn't need to be too dim or else it's gonna look kind of funky. So yeah, so another installment from the backyard, another one night wonder project. I'm trying to do a bunch of one night projects here, just knocking them out, you know? So yeah, stay tuned to the end of the video. Got a couple of images for you. I'll have this one, the dynamic HDMI version, the 3 loop sequences merged into one image, and the California nebula that I shot in narrowband last night. One night, got about 6 hours on it, and it looks amazing. All right, clear skies and clear minds.